You guys hear me back there? All right. So good afternoon. My name is Ashley Beth Key. Thank you all for coming to the Aspire graduation. We have 27 shining graduates today. So just to give you a little bit of a breakdown, we have 15 from MGM Grand, 9 from Mandalay Bay, 1 from Luxor, and 2 from corporate, MGM Mirage. So we're very excited. Just to give you a little bit of an idea, very excited to share it with all of you, that we actually had a 20% promotion rate while within the program the last 4 months. So So we're going to get started today by introducing our first speaker. I'd like to welcome Michelle Botondo, our Vice President of HR at Mandalay Bay.
Thank you guys, and thank you for having me today, and congratulations on all the work that you've done. People that are in the room that know me probably know 2 things. I like to talk about my kids, and I like to try and tell stories that are funny, because I always hate when there's a really serious speech. And so I'm going to try to be funny, so you just have to promise that you'll laugh and make me feel like I'm successful at least in being funny. But I was thinking about trying to think about leadership and where we are in our company. And one of the things that kind of illustrated this for me yesterday was taking my 3-year-old daughter to her, it was her birthday, so she got to go to her well check yesterday morning and got to get a shot for her birthday. But my doctor kind of goes through a whole series of, outside of like the physical check, he also does kind of a developmental check. So I know from taking my son there that, you know, he runs them through a series of questions to make sure their learning's on track and has them do certain things like jumping. And so I had to take my 5-year-old there, and like as an example, he brings out a book and it's an opposite book. So he says, if this is big, what's this? And he wants my son to recognize what small is. And he does things that are age appropriate and runs them through this whole series. He asks them, you know, what do you like to eat? What vegetables do you like? What fruits do you like? So with my daughter, I never like looking like I'm not good at what I do, so especially being a parent, and sometimes I'm not so great at doing that. But I knew with my daughter we were going to run through this whole series of developmental tests, so I wanted to prepare her before we went. So I sat her down and I said, you know, Bella, before we go, what do you like to eat? She's like, mac and cheese. I'm like, no, that doesn't make mom look good, so what do you like to eat? And she's like, cake. And I was like, and I said, what about carrots? You like carrots, right? Because I don't teach my children to lie. I just remind them the right answers. I said, you like carrots, right? And she's like, yeah, I like carrots. I said, okay, carrots are good. I said, you like apples, right? And she said, yeah, apples are good. So, you know, I thought, okay, we'll get down the fruit thing and the vegetable thing. I'll look at there. And so I said opposites. She's got to know her opposites. So I said, Bella, if this is big, what's this? And she's like, little. I said, okay, we got the opposites down. So, you know, did the drill. We go to the doctors, and first question is after the physical exam, he says, you know, Bella, what do you like to eat? And she says, mac and cheese. We're like, okay. And he's like, oh, what else do you like to eat? And she goes, vegetables. And I said, okay, good. He's like, oh, that's good. And you know, what kind? And she said she likes carrots, so that was good. And so then he pulls out the opposite book, and I'm like, okay, it's going well, because we talked about big and little and over and under. And so he opens the opposites book that he did with my sons, and he says, what color is this, Bella? And she goes, And I was like, come on, you're great, what color is it? And he's like, it's, you know, he said, what color is this? And she goes, ocean. And it's, you know, blue. And he goes, okay. And he turns the book, and he points to his son, and he goes, Bella, what color is this? And she goes, And I'm just like, oh my God. So, and then she goes, it's orange. And of course, you know, doctor's like, okay, that was good. And so, you know, shuts the book, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, my 3-year-old doesn't know her colors. And she's like, hey, that's SpongeBob on the wall. And she's like, Patrick's pink. And if anybody has kids, you know what SpongeBob is. And she's like, Plankton's green. And I think she said SpongeBob is Lello. And so, doctor said, okay, she knows her colors, so I was a little bit relieved. But the lesson that taught me as a leader is that as much as you prepare, things will never go as you expect them to go. I'd run her through the drill, we're ready to do all of the, she was ready for vegetables, she was ready to talk about opposites, and doctor doesn't want to talk about opposites, he wants to talk about colors. And so as I was thinking about this, I thought, there's nothing more important right now as a leader than being flexible and agile. And I know all of us who've been in this room the last 18 months have shown us, if it's shown us anything, it's shown us that flexibility and agility are some of the most important criteria for a successful leader, especially in our company. I would guess if I asked everyone to raise their hand right now, we're all doing jobs that are completely different. Even if you have the same job title and you're sitting in the same desk, we all have completely different jobs than we were doing 18 months ago in the company before the economy changed. You're working with different people, you're doing different things. I think we're all doing 101 things with nothing that 18 months ago we thought we couldn't do. And so that ability to change on a dime and be prepared for anything and to be effective when you need to change is what's most important right now. And I think the interesting thing about being flexible and being able to change, the most effective way to be able to do that is to prepare. So knowledge and experience are what help you to be able to change on a dime and to be able to remain effective in situations where you need to act quickly, differently than you acted before. And I think the company gets this because even in this economy, over the last year, we've cut back on a lot of things. We have done more Aspire classes, have given more opportunities for training. We've prepared managers in the Management Academy and directors, future directors in Direct. We've done more of those things than ever with less resources because I think we know that the way that we prepare people to be flexible, because I think if the last 18 months have been a lot of change, the next 18 months with City Center opening is going to even include more change for us, whether it's changing in our jobs, changing the way we do things, changing the way we interact with our guests. And so everything that you've been doing for the last several months is preparing you, giving you knowledge, and giving you experience to be flexible and agile leaders. And so my advice to you all is not to forget the things that you've learned, whether you're going to need it tomorrow to make a decision, to act quickly, or whether you're going to need it a year from now or 3 months from now. The things that you've learned and the experiences that you've gained in this program will help you when that time comes that you need to act quickly, change on a dime, and be able to change direction as a leader. So I think in the coming months, one of the things that I've always said to people is that in times of change, cream rises to the top. I think you all were selected in this to be participants in this program in a time that's pretty tumultuous. You've got a lot to do back at work, but you all were selected to be in this program, I think, because you're the cream of the crop of your properties. We know that you can perform your current job and your current roles when times are tough, and I think we have expectations that given this knowledge that you have, that you'll also be great leaders for the company. You'll add value to the company, you'll be able to respond to changes that are coming, and you'll help to lead us into the new future with MGM Mirage, with the opening of City Center, whether in your current role or otherwise. So I want to congratulate you, and I want you to look for opportunities to shine and look for opportunities to demonstrate everything that you've learned in this program. Congratulations.
Thank you, Michelle. All right, so I'd like to introduce our first